The flames rose high into the night sky above the alien world of Kethra Prime. Captain Elena Vasquez stood at the edge of the ancient stone circle, watching her crew prepare for the ritual that could save their entire colony. The planet had been dying for 3 months now. Crops failed. Water sources dried up. Strange diseases spread through the population. Nothing the colonists tried had worked. The planet itself seemed to reject human presence. Elder Zora of the native Catharian people had finally revealed the truth. An ancient spirit slept beneath the mountains. It had blessed their world for 10,000 years. But when the humans arrived and built their colony, the spirit grew angry. It withdrew its blessing. Now the land suffered, and soon everyone would die. The only solution was the Dance of Flames, a sacred ritual that would wake the spirit and allow the humans to speak with it directly. Elder Zora warned them that the spirit would demand something in return for restoring the blessing. Something precious. Something that would hurt. Elena looked at the 12 volunteers who had stepped forward to perform the dance. They wore traditional Catharian robes made of fire-resistant fabric. Their bodies were painted with symbols that glowed faintly in the darkness. Among them was her own daughter, Maria, just 19 years old, but determined to help save their people. The Catharian drummers began to beat their instruments. The sound echoed across the empty plains like thunder rolling through the mountains. Elena felt the vibration in her chest, in her bones, in her very soul. This was ancient magic. Something that existed long before humans ever looked up at the stars and dreamed of traveling to distant worlds. The fire dancers began to move. They stepped into the circle of flames that burned without fuel, fed by something deep within the planet itself. Their movements were slow at first, careful and precise. Each step had meaning. Each gesture told part of a story that was older than human civilization. Maria moved with grace that surprised her mother. The girl had practiced for only 2 weeks, learning movements that Catharian children studied for years. But there was something special about human determination. When survival was at stake, humans could accomplish things that seemed impossible. The flames grew higher as the dance continued. The heat became intense, but the dancers did not stop. Sweat poured down their faces. Their muscles burned with exhaustion. But they kept moving, kept telling the ancient story through their bodies. Elena watched the ground begin to tremble. Small stones bounced and rolled across the earth. Cracks appeared in the ancient stone circle, glowing with orange light from below. Something was waking up. Something vast and powerful and very, very old. The sky above them changed. Stars disappeared behind swirling clouds of purple and gold. Lightning flashed without thunder, creating patterns that seemed almost like writing. The Catharian elders fell to their knees, pressing their foreheads to the ground in worship. Then the spirit appeared. It rose from the center of the stone circle like smoke made solid. Its form shifted constantly, sometimes looking like a great serpent, sometimes like a towering humanoid figure, sometimes like something that had no name in any human language. Eyes that burned like twin suns looked down at the tiny creatures who had disturbed its sleep. The fire dancers stopped moving. They stood frozen in place, not by choice, but by the spirit's power. Only Maria managed to turn her head slightly, meeting her mother's eyes across the circle of flames. The spirit's voice did not come through the air. It appeared directly inside every mind, a pressure that was almost painful in its intensity. You have woken me from my slumber. You have performed the sacred dance. What do you seek, little creatures? Elena stepped forward. Her legs trembled, but she forced herself to walk. She was the captain. This was her responsibility. Her voice shook as she spoke. Great Spirit of Kethra Prime, we seek your blessing. We ask that you restore the life to this world. Our people are dying. Our children are hungry. Please, help us. The spirit's form shifted again. It seemed to look at the humans with something like curiosity. I know what you are. You are the Wanderers. The builders. The species that spreads across. The stars like fire spreads across dry grass. Your kind does not belong on this world. We came in peace, Elena replied. We did not know we were offending you. We only wanted to find a new home for our people. Ignorance does not erase the offense. Your presence disturbs the balance. Your machines poison the sacred waters. Your buildings block the flow of ancient energies. I should destroy you all and restore my world to purity. Fear gripped Elena's heart. She had known this was a possibility. The spirit might simply choose to kill them all. But she had not come this far to give up without trying. Then why haven't you? Why let us perform the ritual? Why speak with us at all? The spirit was silent for a long moment. The flames crackled and popped. The fire dancers remained frozen in their positions. Because I am curious. In 10,000 years, nitrogen monoxide species has ever had the courage to wake me. The Catharians worship me from a distance. They fear me too much to approach. But you, humans, danced in my sacred flames without hesitation. Your young ones risked their lives to save their people. Elena felt a tiny spark of hope. We are survivors. We adapt. We overcome. That is what makes us human. Interesting. Very interesting. Perhaps there is value in your species after all. But my blessing cannot be given freely. There must be a sacrifice. There is always a price. Name it, Elena said immediately. Whatever you require, we will provide. The spirit's form solidified into something almost human-shaped. A face formed within the flames and smoke, ancient and terrible and beautiful all at once. I require blood, not just any blood, the blood of your strongest, the blood of those who danced in my flames. 12 dancers entered my circle. 12 lives must be sacrificed to restore the blessing. Elena's heart stopped. Her daughter was one of those 12 dancers. Maria stood there, frozen and helpless, waiting to learn her fate. No, Elena whispered. There must be another way. There is nitrogen monoxide other way. This is the ancient law. Power requires sacrifice. Blessing requires blood. Your people number 3,000. 12 must die so that the rest may live. The mathematics are simple. Elena's mind raced. She thought of all the times humanity had faced impossible choices. All the sacrifices that had been made throughout history so that others could survive. But this was different. This was her daughter. This was murder demanded by an alien god. What if I offered myself instead? Elena asked. I am the leader. My life should count for more than theirs. The spirit seemed to consider this. Your offer is noble, but it is not acceptable. The dancers touched my flames. They carry my mark now. Only their blood can complete the ritual. This is not cruelty. This is simply the way things are. Maria's frozen body trembled. Tears rolled down her painted cheeks. She could hear everything but could not speak or move. Elena felt something breaking inside her. But then another feeling arose. A familiar feeling that had carried humanity through countless disasters and wars and extinctions. Defiance. Pure, stubborn, human defiance. And if we refuse? If we choose to die rather than sacrifice our own people? The spirit's eyes flared brighter. Then your colony will perish. Every man, woman, and child will suffer and die slowly over the coming months. The choice is yours, little wanderer. Elena looked at her daughter. She looked at the other 11 dancers. Young people, full of life and potential. They had volunteered to save their colony, not to die for it. But then she noticed something. Maria's hand was moving, just slightly, fighting against the spirit's power. Her fingers were forming a shape. A hand signal that Elena recognized from their days on the ship. It meant, I accept. One by one, the other dancers began to move as well. They were fighting the spirit's control with nothing but human willpower. Their hands formed the same signal. They were accepting the sacrifice. Elena felt tears streaming down her face. You would do this? You would die for us? The spirit released its hold on their voices. Maria spoke first, her words strained but clear. Mom, we knew the risks when we volunteered. We knew something like this might happen. The colony needs to survive. Our families need to survive. If our blood is the price, then we pay it gladly. The other dancers nodded. Some were crying, some were calm, but all of them stood firm in their decision. Alaya wanted to scream. She wanted to fight. She wanted to find some way to save them. But she also knew that denying them this choice would dishonor their courage. Is there truly no other option? She asked the spirit one final time. The ancient being was silent for a long moment. Then its form shifted again. Something changed in its burning eyes. Was that respect? In 10,000 years, nitrogen monoxide sacrifice has ever been offered willingly. The Catharians always chose victims by lottery. They wept and begged and cursed as they died. But your young ones stand before me without fear. They offer their lives not because they must, but because they choose to. Humans protect their own, Elena said. Even unto death. The spirit began to laugh. The sound shook the mountains and made the stars tremble in their places. Very well, little wanderers. You have shown me something new. Something I have not seen in all my ancient years. Courage freely, given is more valuable than blood taken by force. I will accept a lesser sacrifice. Elena's heart leaped. What do you mean? Each dancer will give a portion of their blood, enough to leave a scar, enough to mark them forever as my chosen ones. But they will live. They will carry my blessing within them, and through them, your colony will prosper. The relief that washed through Elena was overwhelming. She fell to her knees, unable to stand any longer. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you. The spirit's form began to fade back into the ground. Do not thank me yet, little captain. I will be watching your people. If you prove worthy of my blessing, you may stay on my world forever. If not, I will wake again, and next time, I will not be so generous. The flames died down. The frozen dancers were released from the spirit's power. They collapsed to the ground, exhausted but alive. Maria ran to her mother, and they embraced tightly. Around them, families reunited with their loved ones. Tears of joy mixed with tears of relief. Elder Zora approached Elena with wonder in his ancient eyes. In all our history, no one has ever bargained with the spirit and won. Your people are truly remarkable. Elena looked at her daughter, at the brave volunteers who had been willing to die for their colony, at the humans who refused to accept impossible odds. We are survivors, she said simply. It's what we do. The sun rose over Kethera Prime, and for the first time in months, its light felt warm and welcoming. The planet's blessing had been restored. The colony would live. And somewhere deep beneath the mountains, an ancient spirit watched the strange little creatures who had earned its respect, wondering what other surprises humanity might bring to its world. The fire dancers bore their scars proudly for the rest of their lives. They became legends among the colonists, heroes who had faced death and refused to blink. And when they told their children the story of that night, they always ended with the same words. We are human. We dance with fire. And we never, ever give up.